Shalom again, my brothers and sisters in the Most High. Um, I'm going to touch on a topic that we all need to pay attention to, and it's called, I titled this one, Nephilim, Demons, and the New World Order. Okay? First of all, in Genesis 6 of our scriptures, there were Nephilim on the earth in those days and afterward. The word Nephilim came from the Hebrew word, which means falling ones. What falling ones were they talking about? Well, during the days of Yared or Jared, you can read about this in the book of Hanoch or Enoch. There were 200 falling angels that descended upon Mount Haran in Israel, known as Mount Hermon, which is the mountain of curse in Aramaic. And when they came down, they came down for one purpose, to mix or intermingle with mortal women. Now, because this union was abominable, the offspring of it were also abominable. So the offspring of these Nephilim / mortal women produced what was known in Hebrew as Rephaim. Rephaim means giants. Okay, so the giants were descendants of the fallen angels and mortal men. It's oftentimes shown in movies and cartoons. We used to watch these things and we think that they are ancient myth. No, they are real things that used to happen, and they tell us the stories in cartoons, and in different cultures they have different names, but it's the same things. Now, because of this was all Satan or Satan's doing. He was trying to corrupt the human bloodline so that the Messiah will not come to deliver us. Why? Because in Genesis 3 verse 15, after Adam and his wife sinned and the Almighty was putting down a punishment on them each, one of the curse that was given to Hawa or Eve was that she will produce children in pain, okay? And her desire will be of her husband, and he will rule over her. Then further on, it went on to say in Genesis 3:15 that the Almighty will put war or enmity, strife between the woman, Eve, Hawa, and the serpent. The serpent was the devil's offspring. So the devil did have a physical offspring, and that offspring continued until this day. What happened, this seed of the woman, the adversary knew that the Messiah will come through the woman. No man will be involved, a virgin birth. Because of that, the adversary tried to corrupt the bloodline, because if he could corrupt the whole entire bloodline of everybody, then the Messiah could not be born. What happened in Genesis 6, it talks about a man named Noah. It said Noah was perfect in his generation. The word generation is the word genetic, which means bloodline or offspring. It didn't mean Noah was perfect, never sinned, because Isaiah 53 said we have all sinned and fallen short. So it wasn't talking about perfection in the form of sin, but it means he was perfect in his genetic, his bloodline. In other words, his bloodline and his family was not yet corrupted by the Nephilim bloodline. So that's why the Almighty moved fast and told him to build the ark, and he and his family escaped. So 8 people in all. Now what happened was this. All those outside of the ark drowned, including the giants, the Rephaim. The question is, what happened to those spirits that were in those giants when they drowned? Guess what? It was those spirits of the giants. The body were dead, because they drowned. But the life force inside of them, the abominable life force, were known as demons. Okay? These demons exist until today. That's why demons always look for a host to live in, because they came from the giants. So they always look for a body to function through. Now the Nephilims are different. The Nephilim mean falling angels, and the falling angels are actually angels who fell with Satan. Okay. Now the demons, like I said, these are the life form or the spirit that came from the dead giants. So let me summarize it for you. You have the Nephilim, falling angels, that took on flesh so that they interbreed with mortal women. The offspring of this abomination were giants. These giants, when they die, their spirit becomes demons, okay? And these demons are what is roaming the earth today and possess people oftentimes. Now, what's amazing about that is this. These demons and Nephilim still exist. Okay, they still exist, they're a real thing. And the governments of the world today, they're 99% possessed by Nephilim and demons. That's why if you look at Psalms 2 again. When you read it carefully. The Almighty was speaking to the psalmist, and the question was, why does the heathen, the wicked, why does the heathen rage, and the kings of the earth take counsel against the Most High and his anointed? Who is the Most High? The Creator. And who is the anointed? Is Messiah. Why does they take rage against the Most High and his anointed, saying, let us cast away their thoughts from us? Now think about that. What kind of being will fight against the word of the Almighty? Demons. And notice the psalmist say in verse 2, in Psalms 2, the heathen, meaning the kings of the earth, the government. These are demonic governments that we have today. Now in Matthew 24, let's look at it. Matthew 24, while they were in Jerusalem, the Messiah and his disciples, his Talmudim, his students, they were looking at the beautifying temple that Solomon had built. And he was telling them that one stone will be left upon another that will not be cast down. But before that happened, he was giving them a lot of prophetic roles that will happen. And this did happen in 70 of the Common Era, when Titus came and he destroyed the temple in 70 of the Common Era. But before that time, Messiah told them this in Matthew 24. Let's start at verse 7. He said, for nations shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be scarcity of food, and deadly diseases, and earthquakes in various places. And all these are the beginning of birth pains. In other words, these diseases and destruction that we see going around us, it's just the beginning of birth pain. And he